Hello guys, welcome to a new section. In this one we're gonna work on a damage system, and also we need to rework and improve targeting system for the towers. That's gonna be two main goals for this section. Gonna be pretty easy and pretty quick to do. And I think we're gonna start with the damage, I guess. So to do damage, we're gonna use interfaces. This is a great opportunity for me to introduce interfaces to you, because they are very important and sometimes can be super useful. Let's go to the scripts folder and let's make a new folder that I'm gonna name as interface. Now let's open it and let's make a new script. And usually when you create an interface, you start with a capital I. So we're gonna type I damageable. All right, this is good. Let's open this. Now inside of this script, we can remove all of this. We can remove mono behavior. And instead of class over here, we're gonna type interface. And I deleted the curly bracket by accident. Okay, so this is how interface looks. And now we can create some variables or methods inside of this interface. As of now, we just need a method that would damage the enemy. So we're gonna make a void take damage, and we're gonna pass int damage over here, just like that. That's all what we need. So thanks to this, now we can attach this interface to any script we want. Let's do close all but this, and then let's go to the enemy script over here. We're gonna make an HP. So maybe let's do a header movement for turn speed and waypoints, and then above I'm gonna make public int health points, just like that. Let's make it equals to 4 by default. Okay, this is good. Now we're gonna attach interface here, and we're gonna do it simply by typing comma I damageable. Now this script has interface in it, and we can see it is underlined because it is not implementing interface member. So to implement it, we just need to click right button, quick actions, implement interface. If you don't see this menu for some reason, you can just manually create the method. Now I'm going to scroll all the way down. There it is, public void take damage. So we have a method, and you could ask me, why don't we just create a method, take damage, and that's it? Well, this one allows us, first of all, implement interface with different functionality for different enemies, and also it allows us to detect if enemy has iDamageable interface on it, which helps us with detecting and damaging enemies when we use in towers. So over here inside of this method, we're gonna do health points equals to health points minus damage. Then let's do if health points less or equals to 0, then destroy game object. Simple as that. So now we have a method that accepts damage value through parentheses, and we take health points, we subtract the damage, and we check at the same time if we lose all health points, we're gonna just destroy the enemy. Nice. Now what we need to do is to find this interface on the enemy. We simply can do that by going to tower crossbow over here. And we can make, first of all, let's delete these two debugs. We don't need them anymore. And then over here, I'm gonna make iDamageable local variable. I'm gonna name it as damageable. And we're gonna make it equals to hit info collider or transform get component of iDamageable. Now, if we find any damageable component on the object that we detected with a raycast, we're gonna have it assigned into this variable. Otherwise, it's gonna be null. And then we're gonna check if damageable not equals to null, then damageable take damage, and we're gonna pass damage over here. We don't have any damage, so I'm gonna make serialized field private int damage, just like that. Then we're gonna pass damage over here. Simple as that. I know it was quick, but it's really that simple. We don't need to do much here. Now let's just save everything and let's go to Unity. Inside of a Unity, we can go to the tower. Let's say we're gonna give it damage of maybe 10 just for now, because we want to be sure it's working. So in a field of a damage over here, I'm gonna type 10. And if I'm not mistaken, tower is gonna one-shot every enemy that comes into range. Let's go. So there are enemies, and phew, we damaging the enemy. If you reduce the damage to something like 2, then it's gonna do a couple of shots before it kills the enemy. You do 1, it's need to do 4 shots, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And like that. Alright, so system of damage is working. Now in the future, whenever we want to damage any object in the game, will it be enemies, towers, whatever you want to have in the game, you can just go to the script that is responsible for behavior of that game object. As example, we have enemy. You type comma iDamageable, you give it an interface of iDamageable, then you implement the interface by creating a method that we originally defined inside of iDamageable script over here. And then you just subtract health point with the damage you pass into the parentheses and check if health points are 0. Simple as that. And then once you've done it, you go to the object that's supposed to damage the enemy or anything else, and you look for that component of iDamageable through any detection you have on the script. In our case, we're doing raycast, so it's enough. In the future, we're also going to have a mass damage with a cannon shot. Maybe let me show it to you real quick. So there it is. We're damaging enemies in the radius with the help of interfaces again. How it was done? Well, in a very simple way. Cannonball, on collision with the ground, detects all of the colliders in the area, and then it searches for, again, you can see iDamageable to detect the enemy and damage them. And that's what we're going to do in the future, and that's why we're using interfaces. And again, you could use just enemies component, you could get enemy component instead of getting iDamageable, and that would be correct option as well. You could get component of the enemy, and you could just call method take damage from the enemy without creating an interface. But programming is not about following strict set of rules. Programming is more about finding right tool for the job. And I just want to teach you how to use as many tools as possible, so when you have some sort of a challenge, you can easily choose what's the best option for your project. And this is one of the options to do this. This is one of the ways to maybe damage enemy, slow down the enemy, stun the enemy, whatever you want to have in the game. So the point is, this is something that everybody should learn. Interfaces are very important. They can be very useful for different cases. And in this case, we just use them to damage the enemies. This is one of the options to do that. Okay. Now, thank you so much for paying attention. This will be it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.